Sometimes you're reading an interview with like a really successful actor or business person, and they always talk about how lucky they feel. Like an actor who's made millions will say, I just feel lucky every time I get to work again. And I'm like, BS. Like, there's no way you mean that. Your PR team at a WeHo definitely told you to say that. Because, of course, they expected success. That's how you get successful, right? You know what you deserve, you expect it, then you get it. But that hasn't really been the case for me. Um, I've been studying my anger a lot recently, which is really fun. Highly recommend it. And I keep noticing that I'm angriest when my expectations don't match my reality. So, for example, like I'm expecting a 10, and reality shows up with a 6, and I've got this gap of 4, which I'm just going to go ahead and fill with anger. I'm angry that reality didn't match my expectations. And so, this anger, what it does is it fills me with this sense of lack. And then what do I see more of as I look around? More and more lack. And so now I've got this chip on my shoulder, this deficit, and now I need to ramp up my expectations to 11 or 12 to make up for it. And again, my expectations are not met, which leads to more anger, which leads to a greater sense of lack and rinse and repeat. And I don't have high expectations because I want this. I don't want to keep getting angry. I have them because I thought that's what you had to do in order to get what you want, you know? I think my assistant is about to leave me. Thanks for meeting my expectations. But I'm realizing that having high expectations actually does the opposite of getting you what you want. And so it's like I couldn't possibly lower my expectations and still get what I want, right? But maybe I could. Let's say I expect a 3, and reality shows up with a 5. Now it's like, holy hell, that's 2 extra points of feeling lucky, maybe even grateful, whatever that word means. And these extra 2 points are filling me with a sense of, damn, I got a good deal. Like I'm pretty abundant. And now I'm looking around and I'm seeing a lot more abundance. And guess what abundance attracts? It's abundance. Now, I'm not saying I just envision like a crappy day all the time and then act surprised when the sun comes up. I still have a hope for what I want. I don't take it as seriously. It's more of a fun dream than a serious visualization. Like, if I could put into words, it's less of a, this is exactly what I'm gonna get, or else, and it's more of a, wouldn't it be cool if, and it feels good. And it's like dreaming and hoping like we did as kids before we knew what was possible or impossible. And so I engage with my hopes simply because they're fun to play with. And then I expect closer to nothing. Like some examples. It's like going on social media with the expectation of feeling good. That's the expectation to feel good. And I do this all the time. And then I'm angry with the reality that a few posts down, feel less than. I compare myself and I feel less than. The reality didn't meet my expectations. I don't feel good. So now I need to up my expectations. And I hate social media more and more. But what if I went in with a realistic expectation that, some of these posts are going to annoy me. But at minimum, I'll get to see how some of my friends spent their week. And I'm like, okay, that's my basic expectation. There'll be some annoying posts, but at least I'll get to know what Cyrus did this week. And then I'm looking through, I'm like, wait, what? Oh, there's also a post here that inspires me. And then there's this other one where I get to see someone I love reveal something about themselves. And now I'm laughing at this woman's freaking cat. But I hate cats other than mine. Like, what is happening? Why am I now happy on social media? Is it because my expectations were a little lower and I feel lucky that I got something more than that? Another example is it's like going to a job interview that I'm mad that I even have to go at, because I should get it. I'm overqualified. I put in my hours, my years, and I'm furious then they want me to do another round. Or what if I just go into this interview with a lower expectation of, I'm going to have an okay conversation with someone in an industry that I'm in or I want to be in. And number two, I mean, I got to kill some time looking for a job, and at least this is a way to kill time where I feel like I'm trying to advance myself. And then I go in, and then I'm shocked when I actually really connect with the person, and I'm shocked and feel lucky that I actually, I want this job more than I realized. Another example is like it's like expecting everyone in America to agree with my views that are obviously right, and then reality doesn't meet my expectations, and I'm constantly exhausted and disillusioned. What if I could just expect, as much as I don't want to, that many people will disagree, and I actually can't understand why fully, because I don't understand the complexity of their lives and backgrounds. I know how complex my own life and background is. How could I expect to fully understand theirs and how it led to this decision or their choices? If I start there, then all of a sudden, anything more than that I feel lucky for. All of a sudden, it's a lot easier to feel lucky for the fact that I get to live in a country where at least both of us, me and the person who opposes me, can fight for what we want. We get to fight. And we each have outlets for ourselves to be heard. It's like waking up depressed or overweight or addicted or afraid and coming out of bed that way and feeling angry that, again, I'm not meeting my expectation of what normal is supposed to feel like. Or what if I could just expect nothing more than to just wake up? There are people who have been through such challenging things in their lives, illnesses or tragedies, where they don't really expect to wake up. They're not sure if they will, and the fact that they get to just wake up, if that's their expectation. Now all of a sudden, the fact that I get to laugh that day is surprising, or the fact that I might like how I looked in the mirror for a moment is cool, or that I can walk past that cake and it doesn't look as good as it looked yesterday, or that I got more done today than I thought I could. And I'm posting this more as a reminder to myself than to anyone else, because I forget this daily, and I'm not necessarily a fan of people speaking into a camera, but I figured if I went through all of this, at least I'd have to engage with it more, and maybe it helps someone else. But my hope is that I'm going to be able to expect less, dream more because it's fun, and then actually notice when reality does me a solid.